5, what's up, my man?
What's going on now? On the other side of the world. What's happening, brother?
Episode 4, man. We wanted to pick up where we left off a little bit on the previous episode. We were talking about grace.
Yes.
And that's the thing. The grace of God is, unmerited favor for sure. Grace is when we get something we didn't deserve. And then also you spoke a little bit near the end, or we did, about empowerment. The grace being empowerment. I'll start like this, and I'll just say I'll hand the mic over to you. I heard it once said that, and I'm not sure who said it, R.C. Sproul, or it was somebody wise back in the day.
Yeah.
But they said that the difference between mercy and grace is grace is getting something that you didn't deserve, and mercy is not getting what you do deserve.
Yes. You know what?
Go ahead, man.
On that note, I say grace protects you, and mercy covers you. Grace protects you, man. Because I was thinking about that today, man. How grace protect you when you was doing something, man, and you thought you was getting away with it. It was God's grace keeping you. Sometimes He just winked at it because you was ignorant to the fact. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do something, or like say you get in the car with somebody, man, and you go on ride, but you don't know that they're up to no good.
Right.
They never told you that they had cocaine in their car, and you ride with them, but you don't know that. And when you get to the destination, then you find out. You know what I'm saying? That's what they were doing. Even in the car, pulling it out and counting money and letting you know that's what they was doing.
Right.
So God not gonna get you caught up in that situation because you didn't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But he said once you have received the acknowledgement of sin, once you have received the acknowledgement of truth, is no more sacrifice for your sin.
Right.
So now if you get back in that car once you find out and go ride with him again and you get caught, he said, hold up, you knew. At first I winked at it because you didn't know. You didn't know, so I winked at it. I covered you in that situation.
Right.
And my grace said, no, not. Mercy said, don't do that to him. Let's cover him. Because he didn't know, and he didn't even know that I had a plan for him.
Yeah, no doubt.
So man, grace is protecting us when we don't even know, man. When we think we're getting away with stuff.
Yes.
We doing this, we doing that, and we think we robbing people, we smoking, we stealing, we doing whatever, we flirting with this one, we doing that one and that one. And we don't get caught. We could be sleeping with this one and that one. They didn't get AIDS, but they had it. You didn't even know. That's why I protected you.
Yeah.
Because I had something for you to do. You just didn't even know that you was in my plan.
Yes.
You were blind. You had blindfolders on your eyes. The enemy had blindfolders on your eyes. So you was hearing everything he said. And this is the thing. I'm hearing what he say, but I'm listening to what God said, but not listening.
Right.
He telling me go this way, but I'm still going the other way.
Yeah. I think, I think there's so many times when it's just like you said, we've been protected. I think sometimes we don't even know that we've been protected. I sometimes, and it just humbles me sometimes because I look back and I see friends of mine back when I was, deep in the drug trade and, a drug addict and all this other stuff and just living that lifestyle, that sinful lifestyle. I see friends of mine that didn't make it. And it humbles me because who am I? You know what I mean? That God saw favor upon me where he didn't see favor on Joe or Cindy or whoever. You know what I'm saying? I have friends of mine that died and they made choices, the same choices that I made sometimes. Yet for whatever reason. And I don't want to go off on a tangent and be like, trying to figure out why, because I don't know the why. I don't know why, this person didn't receive the grace and I did. I mean, that's part of God's plan that it's too big for me to grasp. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, man, I look at it like, man, how I came up. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, I'm talking about as you growing up, as you're a kid growing up, man, and everybody already looking at you like you're an outcast, or already naming you, calling you this and calling you that.
Sure.
And you hearing that. And at one point in your life, you believe in that. So you become what they mark you. But then God said, hold up, that's what you becoming, but that's not what but that's not who you are.
Right.
You know, you're in it, but you're not of this thing because you're not in me yet. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be that until you get inside of me.
Yeah.
Because in that is not my identity. When you get inside of my identity, then you realize who you really are, and you start to doing the things that I'm calling you to do. Even though you slip and fall, I caught you. The thing about this is, man, is what God started in Fred, what God started in Jude, he said he will complete. He gonna finish it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So we like I said, we might go astray and everything, but the grace of God keeps us.
Right.
I gotta keep you because my word said that what I started in you, I'm gonna finish. So I
Right.
gotta keep you, even though you cutting up, even though you messing up, even though you're doing all kind of crazy stuff that's not in my will. I gotta keep you because I promise you that my grace is sufficient, and I promise you that I gotta finish what I started in you. So
Right.
you're not gonna go nowhere until God is finished with you.
Yes.
Until he finished what he started in you. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, but the thing is, we don't know our purpose until we get in his identity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We out there, we doing this and doing that, but that's not what he asked for us to do.
Sure.
Because
I guess the way I need to say it is, it almost hurts your mind when you think about the mystery of God. In that, I mean, there's so many mysteries of God, but in this one area, a friend of mine online, we're talking about this, and one day I'm going to have him on the podcast. So Corey, new guy, you're going to be on this podcast one day, man. But
yeah,
but so anyway, he and I were talking online, and we were talking about, and this is kind of getting off the topic of grace, but let's go where the Holy Spirit leads. He was talking about Calvinism, which is the predetermination and all that. And I said, look, I said, man, I said, I think that, and this is a broad stroke type of mentality of Calvinism, because I haven't studied Calvinism or anything.
yeah,
But
yeah,
basically, from what I get from it, they believe like you're predetermined, like God already, there's a certain people that are going to be to heaven, and there's certain people that are going to be to hell and go to hell, and that's why I come back and say it kind of hurts my brain to even think about it, because again, I spoke about this last episode, I think it was, where we're trying to put a infinite God into a finite box of our mind. We're trying to understand him, and we just can't understand him, but because that's the mystery, right? That's the thing that like hurts your mind, is like God gives us free will,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
100%, 100%. His
yeah,
knowing that what we're going to do with the free will doesn't negate that free will. We still have that choice, but he's
yeah,
such a being above our own understanding that he knows exactly what we're going to do with that
yeah,
free will.
yeah,
Ultimately,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, all the way. And so again, it's a slippery slope where you start to get into like predetermination and stuff, because if that's the case, then doesn't God already know that whose are his? And I mean,
yeah,
the Bible
yeah,
does say he does know
yeah,
who his are. And again,
yeah,
this is just me speculating
yeah,
and
yeah,
trying to wrap my finite brain around the infinite God, which is impossible. But
yeah,
it does baffle my mind that we have a God that puts a crossroads before us, but knows that we're going to take the right path instead of the left path. So,
yeah, yeah,
because he knows that, he doesn't even have to plan for the stuff we would have come across in the left path, right? Even though
yeah,
at the time, and this is the mind blowing part, at the time, we certainly could have 100% could have chosen the left path.
yeah,
Just,
yeah.
postulating on that, I don't,
What you were saying is, are you surprised that God is not surprised?
oh, right, right,
You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing that we can do that can surprise him.
right,
And it's nothing that we can say. It's nothing that we can do that can surprise him, man.
right,
And it's nothing that you can do that can stop him from loving you.
yeah,
I was thinking, I say, man, man, the devil wants you. The devil wants you and God wants you. But the
right,
devil only wants you because he doesn't want God to have you.
right. As a
You know,
revenge type of
yeah,
thing to
yeah,
get back
yeah.
at God,
I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him, and I'm gonna make him do everything
to hurt God.
that's against God. I'm gonna get him to do everything but then grace say you can do what you want, you just can't take your soul.
Right,
Because
right,
God say, no man could destroy your soul. He's the only one that can destroy your soul and put it in
right.
hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he said, hold up, go ahead on and take him. Like I said before, have you considered Fred?
Yeah, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Job.
And,
Have you considered
yeah,
Job?
yeah. But the grace kept Job, man.
Right.
You know, and grace kept, he kept on, he like, I'm not going to curse God.
Right.
I'm not going to curse God. I'm going, if whatever this is on my life, I know, but this is, you know what got me in that whole story? It brought me to that all things work together for good to those that love God and are called according to his purpose.
Right.
All things work together for good to those that love God. You see,
yes.
Job loved God. That's why God said, have you considered Job? Because he already knew that, man, he loved me. He's an upright man, and he's screw. He don't do nothing wrong. He don't screw no evil. So you could go ahead on do what you want. You just can't take his life. Right. You could give him all. You could take his family, his cattle, everything. You could break him down. His friends could leave, and whatever else. It was so bad that people thought that he was cursed.
Right.
You know, man, and that's how, you know, I was asking God, I said, hold up, why are we being persecuted for your name's sake? You know, because, and this is the thing, because I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. I'm great. That's why you're being persecuted for you're not being persecuted for Buddha.
Right.
You're not being persecuted for Muhammad. You're being persecuted because you say Jesus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody can say God, but when they say Jesus, it's something about Jesus. Jesus. If you just say it right now, Jesus, it's something moved.
Yes.
Because you call on him, and when you call on him, he hears you. And then the verse said, well, two or more are gathered in my name, then I'm in the midst. Even in this conversation, he in the midst of us.
Yes.
And even as the Prince of Persia trying to stop this from going on, God said, Gabriel, go take care of that. Go, Mike, go take care of that. Go take care of that. Let this go forward.
Right.
Because it's not of them, it's of me. And if it's of me, then it will go forward and it will do what it has to do. Yeah. But it's only grace that got us here today, man. Because we both was we both was out there in the streets.
Yeah. For sure.
Do it. And you know what? He said, we love the darkness. We love to be in the clubs. We love to hide. You see, that's what darkness do. When you're in darkness, you don't want nobody to see what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But this is the thing that got me. They love the darkness because the deeds are evil.
Right.
But now that you're out of the darkness and your deeds not evil no more, you want to be in the light.
Right. It's about what we talked about last time. The desires change, right?
Yeah.
And getting on grace. That's why I don't believe there's greasy grace. It's either show me that in the Bible. It doesn't say that. There's nowhere in the Bible that it says greasy grace. What it is there's people, in my opinion, there's people who are, and I hate to use this word, but there's no real better way to say it. They're just false prophets. And I'm not talking about like people that get on big platforms. Sure, there's false prophets there too, but I'm talking about at the lowest level of Christianity and discipleship and churchgoer, everything else, there's false prophets because a prophet professes, right? And there's people that profess Christian, but they don't know him. Like we talked about. There's people that don't know him. They you know, they're going to go to that, like we talked about, you know, go to Mark Cuban's house and say, hey, Mark, let me in. And Mark's going to be like, I don't know you. And then when they go to heaven, they're going to say, Jesus, let me in. I did all this. I gave to the poor. I did all this. And he's going to say, I didn't know you. And, you know, it's because they like I said, they are false prophets. They're professing Christ. You know, but they don't have any power, right? There's no power there because they don't know Jesus and they don't know him on that deeper level. You know what I mean? And you know, that's a scary thing for me. Some people are gonna get up there to see or depart from me. And the scary thing is that those people thought, like you said last episode, or whatever about Paul, before he passed Damascus, they thought that they were doing right. How many people you hear online and on social media get on there and you know, they, oh Lord Jesus, you know, but you know, at the sake of sounding judgmental, because I'm really not trying to point a finger, because but you don't know Jesus, you don't know him. I can tell you don't know him because your deeds don't. There's no desire to not do the dark stuff that you. Man, look, I used to work with this cat. And he claimed to be a Christian. Like, he claimed, it was back in Louisiana, man. I used to work with him offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. He claimed God, claimed Christian, because I was a new Christian, so I couldn't help but tell everybody about him. You know, because when you're a new Christian, you want to tell everybody, man, look what Jesus did.
You on fire. Yeah, you on fire.
And so in that conversation we worked together and conversation came out about how, oh yeah, man, I'm a Christian too. And then we started talking, and more I got to know the dude working with him. Man, he had already, and look, there's no condemnation for anybody that comes later and watches this when it's out there. There's no condemnation. Please hear my point. That's not what I'm saying. But this dude was talking about sleeping with 3-4 women while he was marrying at the same time, and one of them had to have an abortion and all this other stuff. And when he was speaking of it, it wasn't like a speaking of it like, Five, man, that's how I used to be. It was that's how I am. I'm still happy to do it. I was bragging about it. Like, man, going asking me to go to the strip club and stuff. And again, no condemnation, man. If those are some of the things that you're struggling with or have done, whatever, there's no condemnation from my mouth at all. But my point is, and I'm rambling here. My point is just that the difference between false prophets and a true believer is that there's that change. There's that change of heart.
The fruits. You're gonna know about the fruits that they bear.
Right. Sorry for that.
When you was, no, that's good, man. That's good. Because when you were saying that, it hit me that we forever learning, but we're not coming to the acknowledgement of truth.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They say they know God, with their mouth they profess it, but with their hearts they fall away from Him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what I mean is man, look, man, you can study God, you can study God all you want, man. You could be the biggest preacher, the biggest whatever, man, studying God, but you're not coming to the acknowledgement of truth. You forever learn, but you still don't know the truth about who He is. Right. Because you didn't get the revelation.
Right.
You didn't get the revelation. Oh, you read, you know it. You read the whole word. We read the whole word. But you took it like it was
the word.
But you took it like it was just a book.
Right.
It wasn't empowerment. It wasn't instructions. It was just a book. I'm reading, I'm ever learning, but I still can't grasp this. I can't come to the acknowledgement of truth that this happened.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that he was born. He was born immaculate conception. I can't believe that God had put Jesus in Mary's stomach and she ain't never got pregnant.
Right.
Or none of that stuff. So how is that possible, man? Nowadays, in order to have a kid, you gotta have sex. You gotta have intercourse. How's somebody gonna just not have a baby?
Right.
Because they and that's how folks think. They like, man, I don't believe in Jesus, man. I don't believe that Mary. How can she get pregnant without having sex?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? How could that happen, man? How could that? That's not so. How could John be up there and don't say nothing? Just be quiet and or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just rambling. But the thing is, this is what folks are, man, because they are like this here. They mind think. Like, you know what I'm saying? When he say, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. Those that think that way don't have that mindset of His.
Right. They
don't know Him. They never got the revelation. They thought they got a revelation, but they didn't get the revelation. Because when you get the revelation is of Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. That's the revelation of Jesus Christ. It's no other revelation. Jesus Christ, the revelation of Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.
Why do you think that certain people, like we spoke about it earlier, why do you think that certain people have accepted the free gift of grace and then certain people have not? Do you think it's just because deep down those people just didn't want, like their heart is wrong?
I think
I've seen people that have been truly repentant, and I've seen people who just claim Jesus and are liars.
Yeah. I think that like this here, man. Jesus said when He went to Nazareth, He couldn't do many miracles there because of their unbelief.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you still got people today that hear about Jesus, but unbelief.
Yeah.
Like if you go to Jerusalem right now,
sure,
they got a lot of people that's Muslims.
Right.
That they don't believe that Jesus did that.
Right.
They say, nah, man, that's not true. So it's like today, man. I can't do nothing if you don't believe. First, you gotta believe. First, He say, this is it, man. You gotta believe who I am. that I say that I am. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing for you if you don't believe. That's the first thing you gotta believe that I am who I said that I am. You
Yes.
know what I said today? I said, God, I believe you. I believe you say, I believe every word that you say that you are. And forgive me for doubting before. And if I
Yes.
don't believe, you know what somebody said, I believe God, but help my unbelief. You still have people today, brother Fred, that feel like, man, I believe, but help my unbelief.
Yes. I say that before. I've prayed that.
Doubting Thomas.
Sure.
I mean, I don't believe that. I don't believe that, man. I don't believe Jesus is real. But then here he say, "Blessed are those that haven't seen but yet believe."
Right. Right.
You know what
Telling
I'm
his
saying?
disciples because they saw him in the flesh and believed, of course. But
Yeah. But Thomas didn't.
yeah, that's true.
Thomas said, "Until I see him and put my finger in his side and put my finger in his hand and touch his side, then I don't believe y'all." And they
Yes.
told him he was here. You know, the disciples was holy. They was saying,
Sure.
and he told them, and they weren't liars.
Right.
But Thomas said, "I don't believe y'all."
You know what? And this is, again, just speculation.
Yeah.
Again, I spoke about it, I don't know, a few episodes ago about how we look at biblical characters and we treat them like they're just characters, you know, like in a show, in a TV, or in a book, you know, that we treat them like no different than, you know, the characters from Lord of the Rings, you know, they're just characters, you know, stories, you know. We forget that these were human people, you know, and the thing is that speaking of grace, you know, I give Thomas some grace on that because I got to believe that these men, they spent 3 years together every day. They were inseparable, and you know, they spent time with the Lord. So of course, you know, they love this. They love Jesus. They loved him. I give him a little grace because I feel like maybe Thomas was in a place where he was so, because Jesus had died. You know, that was his mentor. That was his buddy. That was his boy. You know, and he had died. Maybe he was just so. What's the word I'm looking for? He was just so in grief, battling grief of that. That's maybe where the unbelief came from, and say, "Hey, look, I can't believe that."
Y'all can't tell me that, man. I don't believe that. I gotta see him for myself.
Right.
I gotta see him for myself. But look, the thing is, man, the thing is, man, that, and this is how it is today, man. Folk gonna live how they live until they see him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, folk. I mean, how long it took us, man?
Yeah.
To say, man, I guess I believe God. I trust God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I trust God. I mean, you know, and even in your beginning stages, you backslid.
Sure.
In the middle stages, you backslid.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You backslid. But you see, the thing is, even when we backslide, this is powerful right here, man. He say, "I'm married to the backslider. I'm not gonna divorce him. I'm married to him. I know he gonna do this. I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna be surprised when he spit on my face. I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm not gonna be surprised when he deny me. I'm not gonna be surprised when he betray me because I already went through that."
Right.
For this reason,
for
this reason, I came down here. I know they're gonna do that, man. So I'm not gonna be surprised. So the thing that got me, you know, this is for Fred when the Bible says in Proverbs where it say, when a man find a wife, he finds a good thing and obtain favor with God.
Okay.
Now listen to that, man. He said, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtain favor with God. He didn't say when a man find a girlfriend, when a man find a woman, when a man find a fiance. He said when a man finds a wife. So what that mean, bro? That she's already married. A wife is already married. So he say, when you find a wife, you find a good thing and obtain favor with God. Why? Because she's married to me already. She's connected to me. Everything you need is in her.
Yes.
So you gotta search me deep to get her. She's already married to me. She don't need you. She got a king. She married to me. She married to me. So when you get her, you can obtain favor with God.
Right. Right.
That's something else. When you find a wife, I mean, hold on, God. So she's already married to me, and my grace is keeping you. And my grace is keeping you, and my grace is coming up. She's covered. She's covered. She has everything she needs because she's clinging to me already. Listen to this here. When a woman and man get married, what do? They leave their father and mother and they cling to each other. So, so when a man find a wife, she find a good thing and obtain favor with God. That means she's already clinging to him.
Mm.
She's in him. She's connected with him, man. So when you find her, how you gonna find her? How you gonna find her? You gonna find her in him.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know, because not every wife is a wife. You know what I mean? He said when you find a wife, you find a good thing and obtain favor. Not every wife got favor on their life if they're not connected to him. If there
Sure.
was never married, if there was never married to him.
Sure. I mean, this has nothing to do with grace, but to that point, I remember getting a revelation of God, and we've totally gotten off of the subject of grace, but hey, you know, it is what it is, and that's the thing. A digression, real quick digression, because our time is running out, but real quick digression. That was the whole point of this podcast, anyway, is just talking, you know, and leading.
Yeah, we're gonna go off. We can give it a title, but we're gonna go off the title.
Right.
We try to focus on the title, but
yeah. You spoke about you know, some people who are married to, you know, well, let me just say it this way. I remember getting a revelation to God that about about the don't be unequally yoked. And most people believe that means a Christian with a non-Christian, and it even says that in the Bible. It does. So that is true. But at the same time, God gave me a revelation of two oxes, right? Now, if they're the same general size, that yoke fits on both of them.
Yeah.
But what happens when you got a full-grown ox and a brand new baby ox? That yoke would be sitting like this, and the full-grown ox would be carrying all the weight. God shows revelation sometimes, and not that God can't raise that person up. I mean, who have become Christian. I've seen you who should be adult ox, and we're talking spirituality, Christianity here. Should be adult oxes, but they're still babies, and they're still brand new Christians, and then within a year they're a full grown ox. You never get at like from a spiritual point of view, a Christian point of view. Sometimes being unequally yoked is you're a mature Christian that believes in gifts of the Spirit and all this stuff, you know, whatever, and the person is still a baby Christian, and you're carrying all the weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. They don't believe yet until they see it. You know what? It's like this here. If you say you are strong in the faith, you know what I mean? So you gonna win the other one over by staying strong in the faith.
Sure.
You're not gonna win them over if you go down to where they are.
Right.
You gotta continue to elevate and grow so they can come up to meet you. Because if they see that you falling, then they're gonna be like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If he doing what I'm doing, like I said before, then it's no light. But I gotta keep on being the light so that you could come to me.
Yes.
He said, if you're drawn out of me, then I'm gonna draw out of you. All right. So light, the only time light separates, see, darkness can't separate light.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But light eradicates darkness.
Yeah. You know, light is the absence of darkness. You know what I mean?
Right.
So whenever Fred go in the room, the light come on. No matter what room you in.
Right.
The only time Fred light won't come on is if Fred act like the dark.
Right. And that's why the Bible says, you know, don't cover your light.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of Christians do that, man. And I mean, you know, again, no condemnation, but a lot of Christians do that. They are Christians. If they die, they're going to go to heaven, but because they do believe Jesus, but they cover their light by trying to be so much like the world. And the Bible says we're in the world, but we're not of the world.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be the salt and the light, right?
Professing themselves to be wise.
Comes into the food you put it in, it changes the flavor of the food.
Yeah.
2 minutes and counting, my man. Hey, this is a good topic, and I like it. I mean, well, I don't know if we didn't stay on grace, but
I say, man, I think we're not gonna never stay on a topic, man. Because I mean, if we let God move the way He moved, then we're gonna move with it like He moved. You know, He gonna give us a topic, and we're gonna start on it. We're gonna try to figure it out, but you know. We gonna jump, you know. I'm not planning on staying on the topic all the time.
Right, for sure. That's a guidepost, right? That's a conversation starter, and it's like that in the real world, man. I've seen ourselves fellowshipping after church, whatever. And we'll be with people, and we'll just start talking about one thing, and next thing you know, how do we get on this topic? But
talking about the Super Bowl. You got out talking about the 12 disciples, and then at the end of the stuff, you talking about Seattle and New England.
Right. Well, man, that's a minute. That's a minute counting. So we're going to try to get episode 5 here. I'm not sure. We'll pray about it before then. I'm not sure of a topic yet. we'll let the Holy Spirit pick the topic there to start on at least.
Whatever it is, man, it's gonna be of God, man. So
indeed. So camp across the nation. Hey, whenever y'all are recording, not recording, whenever y'all are listening to this, we appreciate it. Keep liking and subscribing and all that stuff and following us on these platforms, Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. And hey, we love you. Love you, Big Five.
Love you too, my brother. Love you too, man. And I love everybody that's listening. Like my brother said, man, y'all continue to hear us out, man. Continue to hear our hearts, man. We just two brothers that's chopping it up, man. We just breaking bread, man. Yep. And hopefully y'all like some of the bread that we break it, man. Y'all can eat it small.
All right.
Appreciate you, man. Love you, man. All right. Love you, man. Hold it down, bro.
All right. Later.
All right.